Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Smart Talk English. I'm Natasha, your host for today. If you're new here, let me tell you that we upload a new English learning video every day to help you become more confident and fluent in English, step by step. In today's episode, you're going to improve both your English listening and your speaking ability. We're diving into a very common struggle that many English learners face: forgetting words while speaking. You may know the word, you may have used it before, but suddenly, when it's your turn to speak, your mind goes blank. Don't worry, you're not alone. And the good news is, there are real ways to fix this. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand why this happens, and more importantly, what you can do to stop forgetting words when speaking. I'll also guide you through real-life examples and simple practice exercises that will help you keep those words in your active memory and speak more naturally. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you'd like to see more helpful English learning lessons like this one every day. So, get ready, grab a pen and paper, and let's begin. Have you ever been in a conversation in English where you suddenly forget a word you know? You've studied it, maybe even used it before, but the moment you need it, your brain freezes. It can be frustrating, confusing, and sometimes even embarrassing. But the truth is, this is a completely normal part of learning a new language. Almost every English learner goes through this stage, and today, we're going to understand why it happens and what to do about it. You'll also get a chance to practice with me as we go along, so make sure you stay until the end of the video. Forgetting words while speaking English is not always about memory problems. It's more about how your brain handles information. There are two types of vocabulary in your mind: passive vocabulary and active vocabulary. Your passive vocabulary includes words you can recognize when reading or listening. Your active vocabulary, on the other hand, includes the words you can use when speaking or writing. Most learners have a much bigger passive vocabulary than active vocabulary. That's why you understand many English words, but can't always remember them when it's your turn to speak. And guess what? That's completely okay at this stage. Now think about this. You probably remember how to say good morning, thank you, or how are you? Without any problem. That's because you've said those words many times in real-life situations. Your brain has linked those words to your emotions, your body movements, and your voice. That's how words move from your passive memory to your active memory. It happens through repetition and real usage. So, the next time you forget a word during a conversation, remind yourself, you don't need to know more words. You need to use more words in real life. Let's do a small practice right now. Imagine you're in a coffee shop and want to ask the waiter for a recommendation. What do you say? Take a second and try to form a full sentence in your mind. You could say something like, "What do you recommend here?" Or, "Can you suggest something popular?" Now repeat that sentence out loud. Yes, really. Even if you're watching this video alone, saying the words helps your brain get used to producing them in real time. The more you do this kind of simple speaking practice, the easier it gets to recall words in conversation. Another reason we forget words is because of fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding silly, or fear of being judged. This fear can actually block your brain from accessing the words you already know. When you feel nervous, your brain goes into protection mode. It focuses on keeping you safe, not on helping you find the perfect English word. So, part of your English journey is also about learning to relax and stay calm while speaking. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going, one sentence at a time. Let's try another speaking practice now. Think about your favorite food. Now imagine you're describing it to someone who has never tasted it before. What does it look like? What does it smell like? How does it taste? Try to form a few sentences in your mind, and then say them out loud. For example, you might say, "My favorite food is biryani. It's a spicy rice dish with chicken and lots of flavor. The smell is amazing, and the taste is rich and satisfying." If you struggle to find a word, don't worry. That's part of the process. The more you practice describing things out loud, the better your word recall becomes. One of the best ways to build your active vocabulary is by using the words you're learning in your daily routine. When you learn a new word, don't just write it down. Say it out loud. Use it in a sentence. Try to connect it to your own life. If you learn the word delicious, don't just read the meaning. Say, "This mango is delicious," or "The cake we had yesterday was delicious." That small act of using the word makes a big difference. You are not just memorizing the word, you are building a connection with it. Let me give you another example. Imagine you've learned the word excited. Try thinking of a real situation when you felt excited, maybe a birthday, a trip, or meeting someone after a long time. Then say out loud, "I was so excited before my vacation," or "I'm excited to watch the new movie this weekend." This emotional connection helps your brain store the word more deeply, and it becomes easier to remember. The next time you speak, another helpful practice is to repeat short sentences several times throughout the day. Pick a few useful phrases like, "Can I help you?" "That sounds interesting," or "I'm not sure about that," and say them 5 or 6 times during the day. You can say them while you're walking, cooking, or getting ready. This kind of spaced repetition strengthens the path in your brain that connects the word to your speech. Over time, those phrases will come out naturally, without any effort. Reading out loud is also a great way to activate your vocabulary. Pick a short story, an article, or even a message on your phone, and read it aloud. When you read silently, your eyes do the work. But when you read out loud, your brain, mouth, and ears work together. This full-body language practice makes the words stay longer in your memory. You don't need to be loud or dramatic, just clear, steady, and focused. Now let's talk about listening. Yes, listening plays a big role in helping you remember and use English words when you speak. A lot of learners focus only on speaking practice, but the truth is, listening is like fuel for your speaking ability. When you listen to natural English conversations, your brain starts to notice patterns, how words are used, how sentences are formed, how ideas are connected. This builds a strong foundation for your own speaking. The more you hear a word used in different situations, the more likely you are to remember it when it's your turn to talk. Try this simple listening practice. Choose one short English video or audio, maybe a podcast or a scene from a TV show. Play it once, just to get the idea. Then, listen again and pause after each sentence. Repeat the sentence out loud, trying to copy the speaker's tone and rhythm. This technique is called shadowing. It helps you train your brain to produce English smoothly and naturally. And here's the magic part. It also helps you stop forgetting words. Because when you repeat what you hear, you're teaching your mouth and memory to work together in real time. Another tip that works really well is storytelling. We all love stories, and our brain is wired to remember them better than isolated facts. So, start telling short stories about your life, in English. You don't need to be a great writer or speaker to do this. You can keep it very simple. For example, you can say, "Yesterday I went to the market. I bought some fruit and vegetables. Then I saw my friend, and we had coffee together." This sounds simple, but it's very powerful. You are using everyday vocabulary in a meaningful way, and that helps your brain remember it better. Let's try a short storytelling practice together. Think about your morning today. What did you do after waking up? What did you eat? Who did you talk to? Try telling this story to yourself in English using short sentences. If you don't know a word, just skip it, or find a simple way to say the same thing. For example, if you don't know how to say toothpaste, you can say the thing I use to clean my teeth. Over time, as you repeat these stories, you'll naturally start remembering the correct words and using them more easily. One more reason people forget words when speaking is because they don't practice retrieving them, and that's different from simply studying. When you read a word or listen to it, you're putting it into your brain. But when you try to speak and bring the word out, that's a different skill. You have to train both directions, input and output. A great way to do this is with what we call active recall. That means trying to remember words without looking. For example, after watching this video, try writing down 5 phrases you remember. Don't look at any notes. Just try to recall. This small activity makes a huge difference in your long-term memory. Let's do a little recall practice right now. I'm going to give you a word, and you'll try to use it in a sentence out loud. Ready? The word is recommend. Take a few seconds and try saying a sentence with it. Maybe something like, "Can you recommend a good movie?" Or, "I recommend this restaurant to my friends." If it takes you a while, that's okay. That's how learning works. The effort you put into recalling the word is what makes your memory stronger. Now, here's something a lot of learners miss. They don't review. They learn a new word, maybe use it once or twice, and then move on. But real learning comes from reviewing. Even native speakers don't use every word they know every day. So it's completely normal to forget a word if you haven't seen or used it in a while. That's why spaced repetition is so effective. This means reviewing your vocabulary at regular intervals, not just once, but again after a few days, then again after a week, then again after a month. You can use apps, flashcards, or even your notebook. The important thing is consistency. Here's a practice idea you can try tonight. Take 5 words you've recently learned. Before you go to bed, say them out loud. Try to use each word in a simple sentence. For example, if one of your words is confident, you can say, "I feel confident when I speak slowly." Or, "She looks confident during meetings." Doing this just before sleep helps your brain process and store the words better overnight. It's like giving your memory one final boost before resting. It's also important to accept that forgetting is part of learning. We don't talk about this enough. Even advanced speakers forget words. Even native speakers pause and say, "What's the word for that again?" It's normal, so don't be hard on yourself when it happens. The key is to keep going. Smile. Use another word. Use your hands. Use your face. Communicate. Because language is not just about perfect words, it's about connection. And the more relaxed you feel, the easier it becomes to speak and remember at the same time. Let's finish this part with a small real-life simulation. Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. They ask, "What do you do?" Try to answer in English right now. Say something like, "I'm a student," or "I work at a bank," or "I'm learning English to get a better job." Don't just think it, speak it. Then add one more sentence. For example, "I really enjoy working with people," or "I study computer science at university." These small speaking challenges train your brain to respond automatically and slowly. The fear of forgetting words begins to fade. Let's now talk about one of the most powerful tools you can use to stop forgetting words while speaking: building habits. Learning English is not about doing big things once in a while. It's about doing small things every day. Just 5 to 10 minutes of focused practice can help you move vocabulary from short-term memory to long-term memory. This happens slowly, through regular contact with the words you want to use. Think of your vocabulary like a garden. If you water it daily, even just a little, the words will grow. But if you plant something and then forget about it, it won't survive. Your memory works the same way. To build this habit, choose one time in your daily routine where you'll do a short English-speaking activity. Maybe it's when you're brushing your teeth, taking a walk, or waiting for the bus. During that time, try to describe your thoughts in English. You don't need to speak perfectly. You don't even need to speak out loud if you're in public. Just practice forming sentences in your mind. You can say things like, "I'm going to work now," "The weather is hot today," or "I'm thinking about what to eat for dinner." These small, everyday sentences are the foundation of fluent speaking. Here's a simple habit you can add to your routine. Each night, before going to sleep, choose 3 words you want to remember. Say each word, then use it in a sentence. For example, let's say the words are invite, plan, and enjoy. You could say, "I want to invite my friends to dinner. We plan to travel next month." And, "I really enjoy watching English movies." Doing this every night helps your brain hold on to those words longer, and you'll find it easier to use them when you speak. Another great way to turn passive words into active ones is through substitution. This means taking a sentence you already know and changing one part of it to include a new word. For example, let's take the sentence, "I like watching movies." You can substitute the word watching with another verb like reading, cooking, or traveling. So now you get, "I like reading books," "I like cooking dinner," or "I like traveling to new places." This small activity teaches your brain to be flexible with vocabulary. And when you practice this often, you'll stop struggling to find the right word in real conversations. Let's try a substitution practice now. Take the sentence, "I enjoy eating apples." Now change eating apples to 3 other things you enjoy doing. You could say, "I enjoy listening to music," "I enjoy learning English," or "I enjoy spending time with my family." Say each sentence out loud. This helps your brain create stronger memory links with those words. The more you play with language like this, the less likely you are to forget your vocabulary in real conversations. Now let's talk about speaking speed. Many learners think that speaking fast means speaking fluently, but that's not true. Speaking slowly, clearly, and with confidence is much better than speaking fast and forgetting your words. When you slow down, your brain has more time to find the words you need. You're also easier to understand. Native speakers prefer clear English, not fast English. So don't rush. Take your time. Pause when needed. Think of each sentence as a building block. Add one block at a time, and soon you'll build full conversations without panic. Let's try a slow speaking challenge. I'll say a short sentence, and you repeat it slowly after me. Ready? "I am learning English every day." Good. Now say, "Sometimes I forget words, and that's okay." Nice. Now say, "I will keep practicing, and I will improve." Great job. Practicing slow, meaningful sentences like this can really help your confidence. It gives your brain space to breathe. And the more relaxed you feel while speaking, the more easily the words will come to you. Another smart technique is to create your own personal word bank. This is a small list of words that are useful to you based on your life. If you're a student, your words might include study, assignment, exam, or classmate. If you work in an office, your words might be meeting, project, email, or deadline. When your vocabulary is personalized, it becomes easier to use. You're not just memorizing random words. You're building a language system that reflects your world. So tonight, make your own word bank. Take a notebook or use your phone. Write down 10 words that you often hear or need in your daily life. Next to each word, write a simple sentence using that word. Then say those sentences out loud 2 or 3 times. Do this every few days, and you'll notice real progress. Your speaking will become faster, smoother, and more natural, because now your vocabulary is directly connected to your reality. Sometimes we forget words simply because we haven't seen them enough. That's why it's important to expose yourself to English as often as possible. Change your phone language to English. Follow English pages on social media. Watch YouTube videos in English, even short ones. Surrounding yourself with the language keeps your brain activated. It's like keeping the engine running. Even if you're not speaking, you're still building that mental network where words can stay fresh and ready to use. Also, don't underestimate the power of writing. Even a few lines a day in a journal can make a big difference. You don't need to write anything complicated. Just write what happened in your day. Use simple past tense, simple sentences. For example, I woke up at 7 a.m. I had breakfast with my family. Then I studied English for 30 minutes. This daily writing habit strengthens your vocabulary and sentence structure. It gives you a private, pressure-free space to organize your thoughts and remember the words you want to use. Now let's talk about confidence. Confidence is not something that magically appears when you're perfect. It grows from small wins, small improvements, and the courage to keep speaking even when you make mistakes. Many English learners believe they have to speak without errors to be confident. But the truth is the opposite. You speak more confidently when you accept that mistakes are part of the process. When you forget a word, pause for a second, smile, and try again. That simple choice, to keep going, is a powerful act of learning. You can also build confidence by practicing small conversations with yourself. You don't need a speaking partner every time. Just pretend you're in a situation and try to speak. For example, imagine you're at the airport. Practice saying, "Where is gate number 7?" Or, "What time does the flight leave?" Now imagine you're meeting someone new. Practice saying, "Hi, I'm learning English. What's your name?" Doing this even 5 minutes a day gets your brain used to producing English in real time. It prepares you for real conversations and helps you remember words without pressure. Another great practice is to use if sentences to talk about possible situations. For example, say, "If I forget a word, I will describe it in another way." Or, "If I don't remember, I will ask for help." These sentences train your mind to stay flexible and ready instead of frozen. They also give you a calm plan for the moment when a word disappears. And that calmness, that mental preparation, makes it much easier to keep speaking fluently. Let's do a short speaking activity right now. Repeat after me. If I forget a word, I won't panic. Now say, I will keep talking and find another way to say it. And finally, every time I speak, I'm getting better. Excellent. These kinds of mindset phrases are more powerful than you think. They don't just teach you English. They change how you feel about using English. And the more positive and relaxed you feel, the more easily the words will come to you. Also, don't ignore the role of sleep and rest. When you're tired, your brain works more slowly, and it becomes harder to recall the words you've learned. If you've ever tried to speak English late at night or after a long day and found yourself forgetting everything, you're not alone. This is normal. Your brain needs rest to organize and store new vocabulary. So take breaks, sleep well, And don't be upset with yourself if one day you forget more words than usual. That's part of being human. And speaking of being human, don't compare your English with someone else's. You don't know their background. Maybe they've been learning for 5 years. Maybe they live in an English-speaking country. Maybe they practice every day. Your journey is your own. What matters is that you keep showing up, keep speaking, and keep practicing. Every day you use English, even in small ways, you're moving forward. You're making progress, even when it doesn't feel like it. Let's try another quick speaking challenge. Say this sentence out loud. I am learning English for myself, not for anyone else. Now say, my progress is real, even if it's slow. And finally, forgetting words is normal. I am still improving. These are not just words. These are powerful affirmations. They help train your mindset to stay calm, focused, and motivated, all of which are key to remembering words more easily when speaking. Finally, let's bring everything together with a real-life speaking simulation. Imagine you're in a small group and someone says, "Tell us a little about yourself." Take a deep breath and speak slowly. You could say something like, "Hi, my name is your name. I'm learning English to improve my communication. I enjoy reading, watching movies, and spending time with my family." Now add 1 or 2 more sentences. Maybe something like, "Sometimes I forget words when I speak, but I keep practicing every day. I want to speak more confidently and clearly." These kinds of simple, honest sentences are the foundation of real fluency. Remember, fluency doesn't mean you never forget words. It means you can keep going even when you forget. It means you can express your thoughts in different ways. It means you feel comfortable enough to speak without fear. That is what we're working toward. And with regular practice, you'll get there. Before we end, here's one last practice for today. Think of 3 common situations where you often speak English, maybe during online classes, at work, or while traveling. For each situation, create 2 or 3 useful sentences. For example, if you chose at work, your sentences might be, "I need to send this email. Can we meet tomorrow?" And "Let's finish the project by Friday." Now say those sentences out loud. Repeat them a few times. You're not just practicing words. You're building speaking confidence for the moments that matter most to you. You've done a great job following along today. You've practiced active recall, repetition, substitution, slow speaking, storytelling, and building confidence through real-life situations. These techniques are powerful tools to help you stop forgetting words while speaking English. And the best part is, you can use them every single day in small ways to grow stronger and more fluent over time. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope this lesson gave you clarity, motivation, and practical ways to improve your English speaking and memory. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss a lesson. And remember, it's okay to forget words. Just don't forget to keep practicing. See you in the next lesson. Keep going, keep speaking, and never stop learning.